We are an AI health tech business. So we've been up and running for around just over 2 years now. And first year was very much understanding the problem. So looking at burnout prevention, I guess, is like the big headline, human resilience, mental well-being, particularly focused on leadership. We found a big gap in the market in terms of having a solution for the data on the individuals we were helping. So, sometimes we get a bit of Whoop data or, a bit of data from someone's Aura ring or whatnot, but we didn't have a repeatable, reliable way to have a data-driven approach into the people we were helping. So we went from doing sort of small programs to thinking, there's a much bigger opportunity here to help more people, and obviously, commercially. So the next year, which is the year we just completed, we really pivoted into a health tech solution. We've been building a health tech platform, and we released the first version about 7 weeks ago, I think now. And market reaction's been amazing. It's been really good. So within sort of 6 weeks or so, we've just built just over $500,000 in pipeline. We've signed up like $300,000 worth of deals in the past week or two. So it's really starting to snowball, which is great. We're just also about to raise our next seed round as well. We started and then we stopped and then we started again. And the rationale behind that was when, in that first year that I just spoke about, when we were understanding the concepts and, basically doing these little health and wellbeing programs, just really trying to get inside the problem, it became really clear to us that growing on LinkedIn was going to be really important. Like I came from a financial services background in cyber tech. My partner and co-founder was a medical doctor and a psychiatrist. So trying to, speak with venture capital firms and in that kind of area, it was totally new to us. So we decided to lean into my co-founder's LinkedIn profile. And we basically built her over the last 18 months or so. And we've built her LinkedIn from 0 to, I think she's got 70,000 followers now. And we did that through content creation. So I was like, right, I'm leaning in entirely here. I joined a cohort with a guy, a very big creator called Chris Donnelly on LinkedIn, and there was a few people in that cohort. We all needed design services. I had a VA who was doing it. I was doing a lot of the design work myself, not particularly well. It's not a strong point of mine, and it's super time consuming. There was somebody, his name escapes me, who was on that cohort who recommended your services, and I just looked at the package and the options. It was kind of cost friendly for what we were doing. I didn't have an enormous budget at that point. It kind of fitted in well. And in terms of the flexibility, it was just a great way to kind of have that design support in a continuous way. The subscription model fitted well into what I wanted. Previously, I'd been hiring designers straight off of LinkedIn, and it was just varying degrees of quality, lots of backwards and forwards. You didn't really know what it looked like cost-wise. And it just, it wasn't a particularly useful solution, a useful way to solve the problem rather. So the recommendation, I came in with you guys, and it was very, very helpful. It was pretty smooth, actually. It didn't take very long. The platform was very easy to understand and to use. It's pretty intuitive. And you had a good sort of white glove onboarding solution as well. And I've still got the same account manager that I had from day one. So re-establishing the connection and just getting back on the platform was very easy. When we reconnected and I came back on, I'd also grown the team. So previously it was just me and the VA. And then suddenly it was me and a team of, I think, 10 of us in total. And I think 3 or 4 of those needed platform access, or it made sense to have them on the platform. So being able to give them access to the profile to be able to submit design requests and follow those through, that really helped. Reinitiating was really easy, and it wasn't very time consuming. Our requirements were just continually moving forward. So we hadn't had those before. Previously it was just content. Sure. And then moving forward, we suddenly had these additional design requirements. So it's just like having a sort of design extension of the team. Effectively is how it worked. We don't really know what's coming up. We had to do a bit of a rebrand because we pivoted into this tech solution, and leaning into AI as well. And so we had to have a different view. So previously I did quite a big branding exercise at the beginning, which sadly became mostly obsolete. But what we did with you guys was we did a small, quick branding project, utilizing what we had available from the first project and just trying to sort of revamp it. So that was an example. It came kind of out of nowhere, really, and it was good to have you guys there because yeah, trying to find a branding agency at short notice to kind of do that it's not an easy thing to do. So yeah, those requirements just continue to emerge. Versus having like an in-house designer, if we had, I don't think we've got enough to keep a designer fully occupied, but if we had someone in the team, it would be, minimum like 30 grand. I guess we'd have to spend probably more. So in terms of that, maybe even like the branding project. So the first one I did, I think that cost me, it was still pretty good for a branding project. It wasn't expensive. It was maybe like 8,000 sterling, but I think we did it with you guys, and that was within the subscription of £1,000 a month or whatever. So there's obviously direct cost saving there. I consider it a low risk, high reward opportunity. So sign up, try it. I'm pretty sure, depending on what you're looking for, but if you need a team of skilled designers at your disposal when you have the requirement, then I would say go for it. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason not to. As you mentioned, there's no big lock-in. That model to me also feels kind of broken. I don't, trying to lock nowadays, unless you're a really, old-fashioned, immovable, inflexible company, keeping people completely locked in feels unfair. So I think the model that you have is very low risk. So people just give it a go and see how it works out for them.